Grab your Bible and a Diet Mountain Dew because it's time for the Brother Byron podcast. Listen in as Brother Byron brings you thought-provoking insights from his 30-plus years in the ministry. Now here's Brother Byron.
Hello, friends. Brother Byron with another Brother Byron podcast. And it's finally Friday. It is, April the 4th, 2025. I'm taking a break here from work for right now. Won't be a very long podcast, but going to kind of give you a catch up on, what's been going on. And then I've got something to talk about, a new Bible that I received this morning. So, so get ready for it. I've been very busy this week. They say busier than a Baptist casserole dish. So I've not had a lot of time to work on a podcast or anything like that. But I wanted to touch base with you two or three that still listen, give you kind of an update. And church went well Wednesday. I preached from Romans chapter 1, verse 18, and it talks about God's wrath against unrighteousness. It was received well. I believe I preached around 40 minutes and probably could have made 2 or 3 sermons out of that one verse, but it all came together there in about 40 minutes. I think I covered it good enough. Also handed out copies of Jonathan Edwards' famous Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God sermon. I got these little sermon booklets from, Chapel Studio or Chapel? I can't remember the name of it right now. I order things from them all the time. They'll send you these things. If you pay a little fee, you'll send you numerous copies. And that's what I did on that one. I wanted to use it to demonstrate some things in. But, and I also received an email from Sermon Audio yesterday. I believe, yesterday they said that they had chosen that sermon for a complimentary, what was it called? Exposure, for extra exposure, I believe is what they said. And, so, that's a good thing. I don't know if anybody ever really listened to it and chose it, or if it was just randomly selected, they threw it in a hat and pulled it out. I don't know. But if there is one thing that we need to remember these days, is that God is a holy and righteous God. He is not like some people think, some sweet little papaw that sits up in the clouds just pining away for us. That is not the God of heaven. God of heaven is high, holy, and lifted up. As Isaiah said it in Isaiah 6:5, woe is me, for I am undone because I'm a man of unclean lips. And I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips, for mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Would to God that we would all see God high, holy, and lifted up the way that Isaiah saw him. So I mentioned in my last podcast there the other day that I'd been reading some of Peter S. Ruckman's material, some of his books, some of his writings and such. And then I also mentioned that I'd ordered his reference Bible, the Ruckman Reference Bible. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about for the rest of this podcast. I received it this morning. I didn't have time to look at it until just, a few hours after I'd already got it in the house. But I ordered it last Friday, so it's been 1 week today since I placed the order. So it's pretty quick shipping. It's not Amazon fast shipping, but it was fairly quick. I mean, it's coming from Pensacola, Florida, so it doesn't take all that long. But got it in a good time. I also ordered one of his booklets, Why I'm Not a Calvinist, and I've got it back there on my shelf. I'm not going to talk about it today because I want to look at it first, and we'll talk about it at a different time. But the place that I ordered this from, of course, is it's called the Bible Baptist Bookstore, and it is a ministry of Bible Baptist Church in Pensacola, Florida. And that is where Dr. Ruckman preached up until his death in, 2016, that he passed away. Of course, they specialize in Dr. Ruckman's writings, and they have all of his books. They've got his reference Bibles, lots of material, plus material from other men as well. But if you want to find anything Ruckman, just go to their website at store.kjv1611.org, and you can get yourself some Ruckman books or one of these reference Bibles. There are 10 different styles of the Ruckman Bible on that website, and they range from different prices. I chose the hardback version since I will not be using this one in the pulpit. I'll stick to my old Schofield Bible for that. That's what I've always preached out of and probably always will. And the cost was, the one that I got was only $32.95. Let me take you over to that website real quick. So here you see it. This is the website, store.kjv1611.org. And I've chose the Ruckman Reference Bible, and I sorted it by price, ascending. And so you can see you can get one. This economy version is $19.95. I never do care for this type of book. It just seems so flimsy and cheap. So I did not go for that one. And this one is another one, economy. The one at the top's a hand size, it says. And then there's the regular size that's economy with the soft cover. And this is the one that I chose, this $32.95. It is a hardcover Ruckman Reference Bible. Now, I almost got this next one, the $39.95, because it's large print. And I kind of wish I might have done that. The text size in the one that I got is 0.9. So it's it's not a very large font, but I can see it just fine. I do have bifocals in my glasses, so I can see it just fine. No problems there. But, for the cost, $7 more, it probably would have been worth it to get the large print. Of course, then as you go down, it gets more expensive. You've got a hand size with a better cover, and you've got, there's just more choices. The more you pay, the better it is, I suppose. Even down here, soft skin leather, and then we can go all the way down, goat skin, $209. I have one goat skin Bible that I bought a couple of years ago, and it's a beautiful Bible, and it was very expensive. But that goat skin is so flimsy. It's just like you can't even hold it. It's like holding Jello in your hand. So I don't use it a whole lot, but it was pretty neat. But anyhow, like I said, I got the regular hard cover Ruckman Reference Bible, $32.95. And so some specs on the Bible. Let's go ahead and click on it here, and I can just pull the specs up. You can see them yourself. There they are. And so, like I said, it is a hardcover. Smith sewn, that is also excellent. So that means it was not glued together, but it's actually sewn together. This is the best kind of binding I don't know if it's the best, but it is one of the best kinds of bindings you can get on a Bible. And this is going to hold together well and not fall apart, come to pieces on you. So I like that. It has the center column references, and it's very large. Footnotes. Yes, it is packed. Did you hear me? Packed. It's packed full of footnotes. I don't believe there's hardly a page at all that doesn't have footnotes in it. It is really packed full of Ruckman's footnotes. 118 appendices of information on various topics. And yes, it does. It goes into great detail, and I really like it. It's in the back, and just all kinds of subjects that Dr. Ruckman addresses in his very flavorful style. I enjoyed looking at those. And of course, I've not looked at them all. I've not had time yet, but I'll spend some time looking at them. 1,872 pages plus 24 pages of color maps that are biblically correct. And I've got to tell you, the color maps in this Bible, and I'm going to show it to you in just a minute when I get off of this site. The color maps in the back of this Bible are the best I've ever seen in anything. And they're like it says, there are 24 of them. And I mean, a whole range of things. Very nice, crisp, easy to see and read. Great Bible or maps in that Bible. The size is a 6x9. It's a hefty big book. In fact, it weighs 4 pounds. So if you want to work out, you can work out with it. Hold it in your hand. If you get 2 of them, you can do this like here and probably work out with them. But yeah, they're 4 pounds. Let's see what else here. Yeah, the 9-point type, like I said, so it's not huge, but I had no problem looking at it. Now this 44 gram paper right here, that GSM, it just means grams per square meter. And that is a little thinner than a standard paper. Standard paper is 75 to 80 grams per square meter. So there is a little bleed through on some of the pages, especially on some that may not have any text on it. You can see the other side through it some. It is not distracting. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't seem super thin. It don't feel like you're going to rip the page when you turn them. It's, feels fine. But it is, like I said, it says here 44 gram per square meter. So anyway, like I said, no really bleed through. Let's see. In the front of it, it doesn't mention it here, but let me switch cameras here real quick. I'll just tell you some more about it. So in the front, there is the King James preface. The 1611 preface. It's called the Translators to the Reader for the King James Bible. It used to be in all of them. Nowadays, they're not putting it in many of them. So I was glad to see that, and I always enjoy reading it. I've read it numerous times, but it's always fun to read, and glad it's in there. Okay, so as with all of Dr. Ruckman's writings that I'm familiar with, and like I said, I've not been reading a lot of his stuff except for here the last month or so, and I've read quite a bit since then. But with all of his writings, he does not beat around the bush. He's tough. He's hard as nails, and he plainly tells things the way that he sees it. Doesn't hold back. He used some pretty descriptive slang language describing people and people's actions. So if you're easily offended, you may not want to get it, but let me encourage you, if you are easily offended, get this Bible and toughen up. Read it and see what it says. May do you some good. If you're, mamby-pamby, you need somebody to set you straight. So get that book and look at it. But like I said, he does use some language I would never use. I would never use it in the pulpit. I wouldn't even use it in my daily conversation, some of the slang stuff that he uses. And I'll show you some here in a minute and talk about it here in just a little bit. But that is Ruckman's style, and that is why he is popular with some people, the so-called Ruckamites. They like that. It's appealing to them. And, I guess there's really nothing technically wrong with it. I just don't like a lot of that. Some may call it abusive language. I just call it pretty flowery or strong slang. And I wouldn't even say Christian slang. There's some Christian slang words. These go beyond the pale for that. So let me let you look at the thing, and I want to give you an example of what I was just talking about. I'm going to show you his Romans 1:27 commentary that he uses. If I can get this camera right. And by the way, I didn't have a good setup for this camera that I'm about to switch to, so it's a little wonky. So bear with me. And it is what it is. Maybe one day I'll get a better setup. I just didn't have room here where I'm at to put the camera where I wanted it. But it's just a little bit sideways, but I believe it'll be all right. Let's switch over there. Here we go. Okay, so there you see it. This is the big old Ruckman Reference Bible. Look at this thing. That is one big Bible. Let me move my mic a little bit here. One big old Bible. Hefty thing. Like I said, 4 pounds. You can see it there. And Alexa's talking to me again up there. I don't know why, what I said to cause her to start talking. Let's see. So we'll just kind of look in it here a little bit, and you can see they've got their big shield thing there that's copyrighted, by the way. They don't want you using that. There's a big, it's called the unhappy copyright, I believe, on the website down at the bottom. It has it down there in the footer, talks about their copyrights, and they don't want anybody, doing stuff. Anyway, there's the King James preface, I was talking about. Just flipping through here, you can see, it's nearly every page has just got all kinds of reference notes and stuff. Look at that. It's packed. So let's go to Romans chapter 1. I should have marked the spot. Oh, and that's one other thing. This Bible does not have any bookmarkers in it. So, book ribbons. That is one thing I wish it did have. That would be nice. I might can put some in it. I used to have one that would like clip on a Bible, and then it had like 3 book ribbons that you could use, but this one does not have that. So let's see, Romans 1:27. And let's see, I don't know if you can see this thing the way I've got it. Maybe there. Can you still hear me? I don't know. So, 127 says, likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. All right, so then we go down to Dr. Ruckman's reference notes, and you can kind of, I don't know if you can see it. I may get kicked off this channel when I read it, but here we go. He says, there is the natural use of a woman by straight, normal men. There is the unnatural use by butches, docks, and lesbians. And there is the supernatural use by either the devil or God. The same may be said of men. The reference in verses 26 and 27 is to the unnatural use by sex perverts. And then he's in parentheses, Frisco Ferry fruity faggots. Okay. Part of the recompense that they earned for their lifestyle was gonorrhea, syphilis, and GRID, AIDS, HIV. And just as the number of venereal diseases, now called sexually transmitted diseases, went from 3 in the 1950s to 27 in the 1990s, you can expect bigger and better, in quotes, diseases in the future because of this sin. So that's an example of Dr. Ruckman's commentary. Like I said, he uses some pretty strong slang language. It is what it is. I've never seen actually another Bible quite like this. So there you have it. Let me show you these, let's see, appendices back here in the back. Look at this. There's appendix 12. There's, like I said, there's 118 subjects, and it's right after, of course, the book of Revelation. Let me get to the beginning of it, and we can see, oh, there's the index to the appendices. So you can see all these things that's in there. Can you see it? Nah. I really need to set this camera up better. But anyhow, so many things in here. What is sin? The cat, unicorns and dragons, Murphy's Law, the canon of biblical books, Israel and Israel's enemies. He covers all kinds of subjects in this appendix. And so now the maps, the ones I was talking about and bragging about. Look at this thing. You can see that is, wow, that is crisp and clear. Look at, I like that right there. Look at that. Yeah. So, and there's a ton of them in here, 24 altogether. Very, very nice. I really, really like the maps in this Bible. And I'm not a huge map user, but I may be now reading, looking at those. So, yeah, so that's the Ruckman Reference Bible. And let me switch back to the other camera. Okay, I've got my mic right in my face. It probably looks better anyway. So another thing that is in his reference material that I've been looking through there, just kind of quickly, is a lot of the things that he wrote books about. And so he talks a lot about things like denominations and movements and cults and sects and stuff like that. So, Catholics, Mormons, Islam, Masons, Charismatics, Jehovah's Witnesses, Campbellites, Calvinists, Seventh-day Adventists. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's no one he doesn't touch on in some way. And I do like that, because we need to understand and know that not all religions are the same. I mean, even when it comes to Baptists, not every Baptist is the same. I'm proud to be an independent Baptist. And but he does touch on all those. All in all, I think I'll really enjoy this Bible. One of the things I really, really like is that he is probably one of the strongest advocates for the King James Bible of anybody that's ever lived. I mean, now I've always been around King James only people. I've always been one. And, but I've never seen anybody take a stand like Dr. Ruckman took on the King James Bible. And he spends a lot of time explaining why it's superior and why the other translations are inferior, and, why no one should use those. He points out the errors and defends the King James Bible. So I may do a more in-depth podcast on this Bible at a later date, maybe as I look at it more and read more what he's written. But I wanted to share with you what I had thus far. I was really excited to get it. And let me say this too as well. I do not receive any endorsements from anyone, period. I don't run ads on anything I put out. If you see an ad on any video I've ever made, it's because whatever platform I uploaded it to forced it on there. But I never run an ad on one single thing. I don't make any money, not a single red penny off of anything I ever do. In fact, I lose money about every time I do a podcast. I'm paying for domain name, domain hosting, sermon audio. There's so many things that I pay out, either per year or per month, just to be able to do these things. So I don't ask for money. Keep your money. I'm not asking for it. I just enjoy doing this. I think it's God honoring that we can talk about the things of God and things that Christians need to know. So you're not going to find me ever asking you for a single penny. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. And, I need to get back with it. I'm still so busy. I'm, doing all this migration at work. And, I just got an email from one of the companies I'm working with that, is trying to help me on one issue that came up, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm going to sign off from here. Don't forget church, Sunday. And there's only 2 more until Easter. Easter's coming up in 3 Sundays. So 3 weeks away. And make sure, if you are a member of a church, be there physically, spiritually, emotionally, and monetarily. Give to your church, because the church uses it to advance the kingdom of God. The church needs it to of course, to pay missionaries, to help out in different ministries, to keep up the upkeep of the building, of course, electricity and the water, the insurance and all that stuff like that. And so, having a church building is not free. So if you belong to one, you should support it. And of course, I'm a strong believer in the tithe and above that. Always will. I'll never be one that falls for, well, in the New Testament, it tells you don't have to tithe. No, it doesn't. We'll talk about that in a different podcast. All you people that don't want to tithe, it's just because you heard somebody say that you wasn't required to. And we can set you straight pretty quick on that. But anyhow, church this Sunday, if you don't have a church, come out to Northside Baptist. We are an independent Baptist church in the heart of Knoxville. We're right across from the National Cemetery where all those military graves are. And we're on 201 Bernard Avenue, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37917, just a little bit off the interstate. Not even, I don't know, we're probably not even a half a mile or a quarter of a mile, really, from the interstate exit there. So come out and see us. We'd love to have you. Sunday school at 9:30, morning worship at 10:45. And I'll save a seat for you because there's a whole bunch in the front that aren't being used. So you come out and be with us. And this is Brother Byron, and I'm out.